Hi everyone, Walter Bowne here. Today's lesson, really I have two lessons today. I picked some flowers, some late summer flowers. It's middle of September, and these are blooming in my garden. The reason I'm talking to you today is we want to be specific when we are talking about concrete language in our essays, in the stories that we write. Imagine Edgar Allan Poe, rather than calling it The Raven, just call his poem The Bird. Or, Paul McCartney's Blackbird Singing in the Dead of Night was just bird singing in the dead of night. Or Keats' Ode to a Nightingale. A nightingale, a raven, blackbird, they're specific birds. Each with its own characteristics, mythology, coloring, song. It makes each bird unique, just like you're unique, right? So if you're sitting in a class of 30 kids, you're not just students. Yeah, you're all humans, but you each have a name. You have a height, you have a weight, you have a personality, you have a history, much like these flowers do, right? This flower right here is a black-eyed Susan. This one here is not looking so good because it's been sitting in this vase for a few days. Is a cardinal flower. This thing grows to be about 6 feet high, right? I have some painted daisies here. I have a very late blooming echinacea. This was like one of the last echinaceas. And what's beautiful about the echinacea, also purple coneflower, is the thistle. So I see the finches come, and in the fall, there's plenty of food for the birds, right? They just pick these little thistles out. And then I have some thick seed here, beautiful little flower right there. It grows low, but it's profuse, and it comes in lots of different colors. And then of course I have here a very purple. This is actually a sunflower, but it's a dwarf Mexican sunflower. It grows to about waist high, and just tons and tons of flowers, which of course all of these are pollinators. Now, why am I bringing my flowers into you today? Well, when you write your essays, when you write your stories, you want to fill it with things that are concrete and specific. Think of it as you're filming a movie, and the set designer you have flowers. They need to know, she needs to know, he needs to know what flowers to get, because the flowers are symbolic. And when you are writing about specific things, then you can describe this type of purple, all right? This type of orange, this type of red, okay? And then the smells and the sensory imagery that goes along with concrete things. This goes with everything. I drove my car, I drove my Honda Civic. A car can be a Honda Civic, or it could be a Lamborghini. A very different type of car. But it also reveals character, what type of person would drive a Lamborghini versus, a late model Honda Civic. So learn what things are. Find out what trees are in your backyard. There are trees, but there are many, 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 many different types of trees. Some bloom late, some bloom early, some are evergreens, so it goes on and on and on. Find out about the world that you live in. And when you write with specificity. That will help you create sensory imagery. It will make your essay become three-dimensional, and it will be full of life. It will be full of sound, it will be full of color, it will be full of odors. When you're writing about a cafe, when you're talking about a bakery, when you're talking about your grandma's kitchen, you need to expand the horizons. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, the second thing I was going to talk to you about this morning with my flowers is, it's very cliche, this has been said many, many times, but I think it needs to be said. These flowers come out late in the summer. And you would think, oh, they're late bloomers, right? Well, many of us are late bloomers. I was a late bloomer. In high school, I didn't, finding my way, I look at my grades, not so great. Looking at college grades, SAT grades, not stellar, not horrible, but, very, very average. And so I think we have to take a step back and say, wait a second, if I'm not reaching my stride yet, or my flowers aren't blooming, I might just need to take a little time. Some things like lilacs and wisteria are out early, right? Crocus are up with the snow, but by March, there are no more. So we have to think about, we look to the natural world to find metaphor. And Emerson and Thoreau, they all tell us this, about you look to nature. Books, yeah, but look to nature to find the hieroglyphic, the riddle that you can find and apply to your life. And a good garden has color throughout the season. So you have the crocus, you have the snowdrops, and then you have late season flowers that are now blossoming, like the autumn joy right now, that the bees are all over. So think of yourselves as having different bloom times. And if you feel like you're not blooming as others are blooming and you're not getting your stride yet, it might take a little bit. It might take a little growing up. It might take getting away from home. And you might hit your stride. So look to the natural world for metaphors and beauty so you can apply it to your life. Thank you. Bye-bye.